Hi there, welcome to A Maker Studios YouTube channel. My name is Lianep and today we have for you a really fun and easy fall decor DIY you are going to love. Normally you'll find me on my own YouTube channel, DIY Beauty on Purpose, where I create beautiful home decor all on a budget. Before we get started on the actual DIY, I'm going to go over all the supplies and items that we're going to be using for today's DIY. That way you can take some notes and hopefully recreate yourself at home. First thing that we're going to be using are two of these planks. I get these at Dollar Tree all the time. They have them for every season. And these are some that I got during the summer season that I never used on my own YouTube channel, and I just thought it would be great to use. Now, these are really great to use just as they are if you want to use them for your decor, but I love getting them so that I can actually recreate them into something new. And that's what we're going to be doing today. Even though they look a little different in style, we are going to be cutting off some of it and we're going to be painting it so they both look the same. I'm just looking for the actual plank look that this will give me. So these two we are going to be using. I'm also going to be using this beautiful stencil that I recently got. Well, I got about a few months ago from A Maker Studio, and I've used already in a couple of DIYs that I've done on my channel, but I'm excited to actually use it for this one because we're going to use the whole thing instead of just some parts and pieces. So I'm really excited about that. We're going to use that. We're going to use the chalk paste art. This is the Slow as Molasses, and it's a dark brown. We're also going to be using the white Amy Howard at Home One Step Paint. This is the Weybridge white, and it's just a wonderful white. And this is so that we can paint the boards and have that. I'm also going to be using some florals that I already have here at home. I'll show you that when we get to it. And I'm also going to be using some pumpkins because we want to make it very fall themed for the upcoming fall season. So that's what we're going to be using. Of course, I'm going to be using the Squeegee from A Maker Studio to apply the paste. And I think that's it. Oh, I'm also going to be using some paint sticks to get these attached on the back. And I'll show you that here in a minute, but let's get started. All right, so as I mentioned, we're going to be cutting off the portion here with the design. And I want to make sure that they're both the same size, of course. We want to make sure that we are even on both ends. And then, of course, we have our stencil. Because the stencil has almost like a perfect length for the boards and actually width, I'm going to use the stencil as my guide to know where I am going to make a cut. So I'm going to place both of these nice and evenly. We're not talking perfection here, but at least as even as possible. And then I'm going to place my stencil here so that I know where I need to mark. And I'm just going to grab a pencil, and then that way we can just mark where we need to make a cut. Okay. So now that we have that, I'm just going to use my blade knife. You can certainly use a miter saw. I have a miter saw here at home, but I just want to show you how easy it could be by just scoring it with a blade knife, of course very carefully, and then sanding it down. So that's what we're going to do. Just going to use my blade knife, and I'm just going to start scoring it. And basically I just go over it very lightly first, just to kind of get that first line there, and then I'm going to keep going and just put a little bit more force, a little bit more muscle, so that I can get it scored and in there as deep as possible. And I'm going to keep doing that. Okay. Let's see if it'll snap. There you go. See? Then it snaps, and then all you have to do is just clean it up just a little bit so that it's even. And then of course we're going to sand it down smooth, and that'll be nice. All right, so let's make sure this one's going to be the same size as this one. There we go. I'm doing the same thing. We're just going to keep scoring it, keep slicing it. Let's see if it'll snap. There we go. Clean it up a bit. There you go. All right, now I'm going to take my sanding block. I'm just going to sand it down just a little bit. It doesn't take much, to make sure that it's going to be nice and straight and smooth. And then of course we want to make sure that it is clean and dust free because we are going to paint it. All right. So as I mentioned earlier, I want to get both of these boards joined together, and it is a pretty thin board, so likely we won't be able to staple them, and we'll probably won't be able to screw them on because they're just too thin. So I'm going to use some paint sticks, see, right here, and I'm going to use one like this to be able to join them together, and then I'm going to cut one in half and put one this way to create a lot more secure joint. I'm gonna get my miter shears. You can get these, I get mine on Amazon. I got this one there, and it works so well. It works well with like thin pieces of wood like this. There it goes. And then you just want to make sure you lock it. So the first one we're gonna do is this one. So we're going to just add enough hot glue. And then before we flip it and attach it, I want to make sure that my boards are even and as joined together as possible. So just put it right there in the center and then just hold it down. And now we're going to take these and we're going to do the same thing, but we're going to put them on sideways. We're going to do the same thing with this one. Okay, let's see. That's pretty good there. This is going to be my top side, and this is going to be my bottom side. So on this top side, I'm going to put a sawtooth hook so that we can hang it on the wall. And I like to get these like this, that has just the little pointy parts, and then we're just gonna, and that the little nails right there, they're not too long where they're gonna go through the board. There we go. Good. All right, so the first thing we want to do is we want to paint the board because we want to make sure that everything looks cohesive. We're going to be using the Waybridge White by Amy Howard at Home. All right. I get these brushes on Amazon as well. They're really good for small projects like this. It just really, I really love them. So, all right, I'm just going to keep adding paint. And again, we're just looking for full coverage. That's it. And this paint has awesome coverage. I love working with it. It goes on so smooth. And it really is such a good paint to work with. If you've never tried it, I highly recommend you getting these. Again, all the links are down below in the description box where you can find all these items and products and create your own decor. I'm going to give it 2 coats, so I'm going to let this one dry, come back to give it another coat, and then once I have it full coverage, then we will get started on stenciling. So our board is completely dry, so it's time to start adding the stencil. And again, it's going to be so close. Like, look at this, it's just a perfect size. So the way the reusable stencils work from A Maker Studios, they work just like a sticker. So you just want to remove the back from it, and of course it's reusable, so once you rinse it with lukewarm water, let it air dry, you can put it right back on the backing and then reuse it again. And that's what I love about it, and the fact that it's so easy to work with. So this is my top, the top of my, this is where I put my sawtooth hook, so I want to make sure that it's facing the right way. So I'm just going to place it somewhat centered, I suppose. It doesn't have to be perfect. Okay, so now that it's on there, again, I'm going to be using the Slow as Molasses color. So a lot of times when I spread the chalk paste, I spread it where it's not perfect, so where not everything is covered, because I do want to have that distressed look, and this is one of those times. Sometimes I do want full coverage, and that's fine. but every so often I'll just spread it and purposely leave some spots without it so that it looks like it's been distressed and kind of faded over the years. So I'm going to use that same technique right now. So I'm just going to take some. Now I'm going to definitely need more than this. Although this goes a long way, this is a pretty large area. So we want to make sure that we have enough. So again, I'm just going to start spreading. And if I need to sand it down after and just dress it a little bit more, that's fine. I'm just going to try to do it where I don't have full coverage. Look how easy this is. I mean, truly anyone can do this. You don't have to be completely experienced, super skilled. I mean, you really just want to put the stencil on and then just stencil it. Just apply it. I'm almost done because again, I don't want that full coverage. So you see those spots there, I'm okay with that. So I'm just gonna scrape the excess here on the container so that we can reuse it, cover it up, and then we're going to remove the stencil. This is my favorite part, is revealing the design. You're going to be blown away. Look how beautiful that looks and how easy we were able to get that. And remember, you can use any color combination you want. There's that. That is stunning. I love this look. I love that it has some parts that look a little faded. That's exactly what I was looking for. So we're going to let that dry. I'm going to go rinse this with some lukewarm water so that we can air dry it and then reuse it on another time. So we'll be right back. All right, so our board again is fully dry and it has a little bit of a texture on it, which is nice. And so what I want to do now, again, this is going to be my top part. The goal is that this is going to have florals in the middle with a little bit of an arrangement and have that beautiful background in the background. So I got to drill a couple of holes where I want to place my florals on so that way I can tie it in the back. These are the florals that I'm going to be using. I got these recently at TJ Maxx. It was Home Goods, and they were from their summer line, but I feel like they have a really nice blue that I think would go well in transition into fall. They're actually wood flowers. I love them. They're beautiful. So we're not going to use the whole thing. We're just going to use a couple of these stems. All right. So I'm just going to pick and choose a couple here. I think this would be a good one. And then let's see. This one has 3. Maybe this one. So what I'm looking for first is to drill the holes, but I want to know what I'm working with. So I want to make sure that isn't that going to look pretty? All right. So you see what I'm looking for. I just need to know where to drill the holes depending on what I'm looking at, because I do want to add an arrangement here. So I want to make sure that I have enough base. So I think if I drill the holes right here, I'm going to use my drill and I'm going to go really slowly. I don't want to press too hard because, again, these boards aren't the thickest. There we go. Okay. And it drilled right through the paint stick, so that's nice. So I'm going to take some jute string and I'm going to just start threading it, and that way I have it all set and ready for when I need to tighten the, there you go. So now we have the strings available to tie it. So I'm going to start with the greenery. This is such pretty greenery, and I think what I might do is cut it into 2. I think that's going to work well. I'm going to cut these into 2, make it fuller, and that'll work nicely. I'm just going to lightly tie it just to kind of give me a spot where to start. All right, so I'm going to put this one in. Okay. It's going to be pretty. I think I'm going to tie it. I think I'm just going to go for it and just tie it as tight as I can. But I am going to cut these. And make sure it's lined as close as possible to that bottom. All right, so I have this ribbon and I thought it would look really good with the color of the design, and then the blue, and then this green. I just thought it would be good. This one I got at a Dollar Tree, and I think it's 9 feet. Yeah, 9 feet. For $1.25, I thought that was pretty good. It's a really beautiful design. So I'm just gonna do a very simple bow. And what I call a very simple bow is those, you know, like double loop bow. Like what I do is I loop it and then I scrunch it in the middle, but I'm not gonna do it yet until I know what size I'm gonna work with. Maybe a little smaller. Okay, I think that's good. I'll take some more of that jute string. And I'm gonna tie it. So I'm gonna hot glue it right there. I'm gonna use these Dollar Tree florals. I'm gonna cut them as far down as I can because I feel like I want to add a little bit more color to the arrangement. Isn't that pretty? Just adding a little bit of that orange tone. I think this one, like right around here, will look real pretty. Just to add a little bit of more fall traditional colors. And then I'm going to do one more. And just add it. I love doing things in threes. I think it just adds that nice balanced look without overcrowding it. But of course, you do what you want to do. I like that. I like that a lot, actually. I'm glad I added those. Okay. So then we have the pumpkin. I think I'm just going to add the pumpkin right here with a ton of hot glue. Okay. And set it right there. The ribbon with a dovetail design. Just gonna let this harden, and then that's it. So this is it for today, my friends. You're gonna have to let us know what you think of this project. Is it your style? Is it something that you would love to recreate? Let us know down in the comments. If you have not subscribed to this channel, I highly recommend you do. You're gonna get inspired week after week, so make sure you subscribe and also hit the notification bell so you do not miss any of their content. Also, don't forget to check out the description box because down there, you're gonna find all the links to all the items that we are using today. And don't forget to visit my YouTube channel, DIY Beauty on Purpose. And if you love what you see there, I hope you join our YouTube family as well. Have a beautiful day, have fun creating, and have a blessed one. Bye.